Hi everyone, welcome to With the Messenger. My name is Whitney and this is your new moon in Aquarius forecast. This won't be a very long reading. I'm really condensing this. I'm just going to give a little bit of facts about the moon, which is happening at 9 degrees. And this, in terms of Sabian symbols, has a lot to do with wake-up calls, right? Maybe someone that you thought was ideal or something that you thought was ideal, you start to see that it's not. Even yourself, if you may have oversold yourself in some area, you thought you were ideal for something or for someone, you may realize that you're really not. Okay, this is going to also be where people project onto us, where we project onto others, where we feel disappointment because whatever illusions we're creating by ourselves or others, it starts to fall away. Okay, so think about that in a general sense. Now, for your individual signs, I will talk about how this new moon trine Jupiter in Gemini will affect you. Okay, that's the only aspect that is being made to the moon. It is an outer planet, so there is significance to it. As you all know, moon cycles take 6 months to play out. We're going to start with Aries first. Aries, this new moon is happening in your 11th house. 11th house has to do with our long-term gains from our career, our long-term aspirations and goals, our elder siblings, if you have any, our wider friendship groups and networks, the online world. And it will trine Jupiter in your 3rd house, which is like our shorter community. I would say, like people that we see in our commute on our day-to-day, people who we live amongst, our younger siblings. So there could be something happening for you all Aries with your siblings, either older or younger, but something beneficial, some type of new starts in their life, because it is a trine. Trines are the nature of Jupiter, and Jupiter itself is involved. The ruler of this new moon is Saturn in Pisces, right? So that's in your 12th house. So there could be some travel that happens for them, some type of breakthrough in self-sabotaging patterns or tendencies. For you, that could just be for you if it doesn't have to do with a sibling, right? Especially since we have Jupiter there in your 3rd house. So it's expanding your mind, it's expanding the way you talk, the way you communicate, the way that you think. Maybe you have some breakthrough moment in a project, you have some type of skill that you learn or you're about to embark on to learn, okay? And then that results in new start for your long-term gains from your career, or new starts in different communities that you are welcomed in, okay? Because the 3rd house also have to do with like social media as well, and the online world. So the online world and technology may be very important for you in the 6 months that follows this new moon. Taurus, this is happening in your 10th house of career, your public image, your status, your reputation, your relationship with people in authority, your father figures, and just the way that you're known in the world, right? So because there is a trine to Jupiter in Gemini in your 2nd house, you could be getting some form of promotion, Taurus, that brings in more money, brings in more opportunity, brings in, by opportunity I mean because more money comes your way, or just probably more status comes your way. You're able to acquire things, because the 2nd house is also things that you own, right? So I really feel for you all, this is going to translate to monetary gains, okay? So look for 6 months that pass for some type of uplevelment in status for you that translate into uplevelment in your earning structure, okay? Let's move on to Geminis. Geminis, this is happening in your 9th house. This is a Dharma house. It is your connection to spirit, to God, good karma. And it's trining Jupiter in your 1st house. So this is happening in 2 dharmic houses for you. I don't know if dharmic is a word, forgive me. But I have been saying in my astrology readings that you are embodying Jupiter's energy. So you're being more moral, you're being more just, you're being more fair, you're being protected by Jupiter too. And so I feel there is a synchronization that is happening. Since Jupiter naturally rules the ninth house in the traditional astrology, there is some type of synchronization that is happening for you all with your belief system, and that's changing things for you. Some of you may celebrate some type of milestone, because the ninth house could be where we have our accomplishments, right? Where we celebrate our accomplishments or rewards. Some of you may decide to teach. Okay, you might, especially if your IC is in your ninth house, your path, your purpose could be changing, right? So some of you may be deciding to teach. Some of you could be celebrating maybe getting into your favorite university. The ninth house does have to do with higher education as well, or maybe getting accepted into a mentorship program. Ninth house does have to do like mentors and gurus as well. Some of you could even be getting married. The ninth house could have to do with like your third marriages or third long-term committed relationships that potentially could go into marriage. Some of you may be getting the opportunity to travel within the next 6 months that follows this new moon. So if you would like to do that, it's definitely time to plant the seeds for that. A good way of planting the seed would be like, take for example me. I haven't been anywhere but I would say Mexico and Guatemala. So I would like to go somewhere else. And so a step for me would be to go and renew my passport because it has expired. And that's me planting the seed to see if the opportunity comes. Okay, at least I know I have the passport ready, right? So your belief systems are changing. Some of you may enter school. Some of you could be graduating from school. Some of you could be traveling. Some of you could get married. Some of you could just be celebrating, okay? Moving on to Cancer. Cancer, this is happening in your 8th house and it's making a trine to Jupiter in your 12th house. Some of you this could be an inheritance transit. Someone doesn't have to die for you to receive an inheritance, okay? You could be like, I don't know, getting access to a trust fund while that person is living. Some of you, if you have had any type of health ailment, you could be having a surgery, because 12th house is hospitalizations, 8th house is surgeries. Okay, and you do have Mars in your 1st house at the moment, retrograde. So the first house representing the body. So some of you could be within the 6 months be doing some type of fortunate surgery. If I were you, I would schedule it though after Jupiter goes direct, which would be February 4th. It's not too long now, okay? But if you have to do it before, then do it before, you know. The energies, they're favorable. And I would say also, because it is the 12th house and the 8th house, any type of trauma that you had or wound or something unhealed that you had, this could be a very fortunate situation where you break free from that with that 8th house and 12th house, because those two houses are moksha houses. They have to do about releasing and surrendering. So you all could definitely be releasing something in order to start some type of new beginning, okay? Leos, this is happening in your 7th house of partnerships, whether committed or business, of your open enemies, and it's making a trine to Jupiter in your 11th house. Some of you could be starting business ventures with people in the same field as you, people that you network with, people that you're friends with. Some of you could be going to business with your spouse too. That's a possibility. Contracts definitely could be signing. The 11th house, it does have to do with long-term gains from your career, so you could be signing on the dotted line in regards to that. The 11th house also have to do with like benefactors, so someone could be like a silent investor for you, but you know there's a contract, 7th house, that becomes involved somehow. Now this is happening in your 7th house, so this could really have to do with the person you're in some type of committed situation with, rather than you, okay? And then you just maybe somehow benefit from it, okay? Virgo, it's happening in your 6th house of work, and it's making a trine to Jupiter in your 10th house. If you have Virgo and Taurus placements in your big three, you are definitely getting some type of upgrade in your career in the next 6 months, okay? I do feel, however, I just had a deja vu moment. I do feel, however, that you'll be getting more work responsibilities, that's for sure. Your status could be changing because Jupiter there in your 10th house is definitely making your presence more known in the world by others, I would say. Okay, it doesn't have to be big terms of the world, but the people who are part of your world. So people that you work with, the more of your colleagues knowing you, people in your community, people in your city, for instance, right? So I feel a new status is definitely coming into you, and what you do on a day-to-day basis is changing. Okay. um let's say you've been working out, or you start to work out within the 6th house that has to do with health and fitness. You could be known as some type of fitness guru. You could have some type of physical glow up there as well, that changes your image. Libras, this is happening in your 5th house of romantic love, children, expression, self-expression, creativity, joy, play, and pleasure, right? And it's making a trine to Jupiter in your 9th house. This definitely could be a transit that indicates long distance love or foreign love, because 9th house also have to do with foreigners and foreign cultures. Or even if it's not long distance love, it could just be you meet someone of a different background. Okay, this could be where you travel with a romantic partner, or you decide to travel for leisure, for joy, for play, or pleasure. Like you get some kind of vacation, much needed vacation. You could also be celebrating a milestone, because the 9th house does have to do with milestones, and it could be in regards to a business venture or becoming a parent. Some of you, if you want to become a parent, or becoming a grandparent. 5th house and 9th house, definitely grandparents is a grandparent. Transit is activation, sorry. Something could be happening in the lives of your child. Okay, yeah, because the 9th house does have to do, it's the 5th house from the 5th, so that could be a grandchild. But if you don't have children, or if you have children who are not, let me say, if you have children who are not at the age where they could have children, it could be maybe something changing in the life of them in terms of expression, joy, being able to travel with them, something to that degree. Okay, and I guess some of you could be traveling with your romantic partner too, or getting married for the 9th house. Only because the 9th house is involved, and the 9th house could be a marriage signature. Scorpios, this is happening in your 4th and 8th house. Just like I told Cancer, these are moksha houses, so they have to do with release and surrender. Because the 8th house is involved, Jupiter is there for you, and it's making a trine to your 4th house. You could be receiving money from family. Some of you could be buying or selling a property, because the 4th house is involved. Mortgages are involved with the 8th house too, so some of you could be buying a house, or making changes to a house, to sell a house. Or you could be, I'm not gonna lie, the trine between these two, some of you could conceive. 8th house is the house of sexual intimacy as well. 4th house has to do with new beginnings in the home, so that could bring some type of new beginning in your home. Some of you could also just be able to release some type of ancestral karma or trauma, and that puts you on a more abundant path. Okay, some of you could also have someone being willing to help out with you more at home. I only say that because the 8th house is involved, and the 8th house does have to do with like shared responsibilities and shared finances. So more alimony, more child support, or just someone coming in to help you share responsibilities. Sagittarius, this is happening in your 3rd house, and it is making a trine to Jupiter in your 7th house. Some of you could be getting a new car, okay, buying or selling a car. Some of you could be doing short distance travel with a committed partner, because 7th house is involved. It will be a committed partner. Some of you could be going into business with someone, because the seventh house does have to do with like business partnerships here. The third house could be like little projects and stuff like that. If your floating IC is in your third house, you could be moving with a partner. Okay, you could be making changes, and that like you're shifting your community here. If you have children, the seventh house could be the house of this, like the second child. There could be changes that happens for them, maybe with their early education, depending on how young they are. Some of you could be with this third house embarking on some type of short course or skill, and perhaps the opportunity comes through someone that you know or have some type of contract with, like a job. All right, Capricorns, this is happening in your second house. So honestly, it's happening in your second house, and it's making a trine to Jupiter in your sixth house. All the earth signs, this new moon is such a up-levelment in their finances within the next 6 months. I'm telling you. Okay, I see more money coming in, and with that more money that comes in, you have the opportunity to pay down debt. Okay, the EBT. Some of you have the opportunity to own things, so maybe you're able to rent somewhere out, because the sixth house does have to do with rentals, or maybe where you rent, it doesn't cost you a lot of money, or you finally have the money to do so. You could pay down debt, that's for sure. Your money will be increases, and that could be because you get more work opportunities here with this sixth house. Okay, I do see there's a potential for you to be more busy, right? Because Jupiter is going to go direct by the fourth in your sixth house, but money's going to come as a result of it. Okay, I don't think that's a problem for you all Capricorns. You all like to work. Aquarius, you are the star of the show. So the new moon is happening in your first house, and it's making a trine to Jupiter in your fifth house. The way that you're going to choose to express yourself is definitely changing. Okay, I feel some of you are going to be putting yourself out there more when it comes to dating, and there's going to be enjoyment in it, especially since Jupiter is going to go direct by the fourth. So if you haven't, maybe you should now put yourself back out there, because this energy that is being baked in is very favorable. Your inner child is healing as well, and like I said, I feel like it's helping with your self-expression too, so it's gonna be much more authentic if there were anything that was limiting you here. All right, some of you, you're gonna be experiencing more romance and people just enjoying you for who you are. Okay, and let's move on. So there's many things that could change in your life, especially if you're an Aquarius rising. If you're an Aquarius sun, for instance, this could be where something that you want to do entrepreneurship wise, you're now able to do it, or you get the courage to do so. Okay, to put yourself out there, to express yourself. When it comes to your children, Aquarius, if you have children, because it is trining the fifth house, or if you want children, this is a favorable energy for that. If you want children, this is a favorable energy to have children within the 6 months, right? You can even meet someone that is able to happen with. But if you already have children, I see that you all will be getting along much better in the 6 months that follows this new moon. Okay, you're gonna both be able to indulge in some luxuries together, as well as some joy and play. Pisces, this is happening in your 12th house, and it's making a trine to Jupiter in your 4th house. So like Cancer and Scorpio, this is happening in moksha houses, where which are all about surrender, healing, and releasing, right? You will be healing self-sabotaging patterns. I feel if there's anything with this new moon that is uncovered, because it isn't happening in your 12th house, and 12th house are things that are hidden, it will be a blessing for you, for your family, okay? Because Jupiter is there blessing your 4th house. And so perhaps this could be a healing for you physically, or a healing for, because 12th house could represent hospitalization, or a healing happening for someone in your family line. This could be, even if someone transitions underneath this, though I'm not saying that they will, okay? If someone transitions underneath this, it's like a blessing for the family somehow, like inheritances, or things are being passed down, or it's like, you know, you gain a blessed ancestor on the other side, okay? But I'm not saying it has to be. Some of you, this could be a transit that signifies maybe relocating abroad and that becoming your new home, and you just loving it, you feeling comfortable there. Jupiter is really loving up your 4th house, okay? So this is all I have for you all. I made it really short. And until next time, you blessed.